Hey guys, it's Syndicate here, and this is kind of something new and different. I don't think we've all seen this in a while. This is a multiplayer gameplay on my channel now. Don't be shocked, don't be scared, don't be alarmed. I'm not stopping everything and just going back to multiplayer, but after being at the COD Championships and just really watching a lot of Black Ops 2 gameplay, I kind of felt like I needed to get into it because I was watching these guys at the COD Champs just absolutely beast mode it. And this is what this commentary is pretty much all going to be about. Just like Call of Duty in general. Bit of moaning, bit of like positivity, and then just absolutely praising like competitive players because I have so much respect for them. I always have, and I always will. You know, like people say like, oh, so you make Call of Duty gameplays? And I'm like, not just Call of Duty gameplays. I leave like multiplayer to the pros, and I just go off and do my own zombie thing or different game thing. And you know, I let them do their thing because they're the best of the best. I don't want to step on their thing and be like, oh, I'm a great multiplayer guy when these guys go playing like insane things off. Like you could say, hey, pro guys, go and get like 200 plus, and they go, okay, just go and do it, sort of thing. So yeah, it was a really crazy event, and yeah, like I said, I'm going to be talking about the COD Championships whilst you see me go on this 20 kill streak, which was really rare, not rare, random, because I was just like, you know what, I feel like playing some multiplayer. Jumped on, played my first game, and I was like, yeah, you know, I'm feeling it, I'm liking this gun. I was using the Scorpion because I've just been trying to settle with the gun of choice, and then jumped into this map, and I was like, oh, this is like my third time playing this map. I learned the layout in this map pretty much this game because I was like, right, where am I, where the enemy's spawning? Didn't know spawns or anything like that, which you'll see like 4 minutes into the gameplay because there's some crazy spawnage that goes happening, and I get a really good point on killing him here. But yeah, like one of my first times playing this map and using this gun, and I think it is friggin' awesome. So we'll continue. So COD Championships were freaking amazing. I've never been into a sport so much like I was at the Championships. Now, I don't know whether that was just a whole combination of, you know, it being video games, something I really enjoy, being around great friends, supporting a team that I know, just this combination of everything made the event just hands down one of the best things I've ever experienced in life. Because you might be like, what, gaming event was one of the best experiences? And I'd say yeah, because I had a really good time with my friends there, you know, like all the YouTubers that I met up with. I was doing interviews and stuff like that. Why I was doing interviews, I don't actually quite know. People were like, hey Syndicate, can we get your view on things? And I was like, yeah, absolutely, you know, pull me onto the side, do an interview. And the entire way through, everyone was like, oh, what team are you supporting? And I was like, hands down, Optic. Now, I will stick with Optic until I die, probably, or the team disbands or something like that. But yeah, I'll always support Optic, and let me just do a quick noob defend myself here. This is the first time I picked up this gun, and then I noticed it had select fire, and then I noticed it was this colour, so I was like, oh yeah, I'll try and use it for a bit, and didn't work. I tried to turn around and jump back in the window, and it turned out to be a rock face, so I was like, fuck, you know, fuck everything, I just died. But like I was saying, Optic anyway. Okay, so I went into the COD Championships, and I was like, oh, I want a team that I can, you know, that I'm going to support throughout it, and then it just clicked that, not just the fact that I was going, oh, I kind of want a team, I really wish I could get into competitive gaming, because when I watch it on certain streams, I'm like, you know, or I watch a live stream on, you know, like MLG streaming it, and I'm like, I'm watching it, and I try and get into it, but most of the time I'm like, nah, I'll just skip to the final match, and, you know, do something else, come back when it's done, and see who's going to win in the last game, and then really get into it. But I felt that was kind of like the cheating way. So whilst I was at the Black Ops tournament in California, LA, which Treyarch flew me out to, which was amazing of them, I was like, you know what, I'm really going to get into it, I'm going to follow all the games. It was kind of confusing at some points because loads of people were playing at certain times, but I was like, I'm going to bleed green, I'm going to go for Optic, root from like crazy. We had Nade Shot, Merc, Big Timer, and the Ginger Ninja himself, Scumpy. Now these 4 guys were absolute legends. There was one point where they were like in a bit of a row, and the other team were just like shouting them. Now this isn't the final place where it was like tied for 3rd and 2nd. It was like earlier on, and it was like the other team were like, yeah, fucking screaming. Their teammates, like friends and family, were there screaming. This woman was like, yeah, screaming her tits off, and I was just like, I'm having none of this. Our team's getting no support from behind. Obviously, you know, there was some people like, go on, but I was like, we need to step things up, and this is kind of where I lost my voice, because I went into this and I was like, I'm gonna make sure that every good play, these guys know they've done a good play. I'm backing them, you know, just give them a full amount of support, and that's kind of what I went there to do. You know, I went there to support Optic. You know, because I was thinking about it on the play, and I was like, oh, all these teams are involved. Should I be biased and go for people from the UK or that sort of thing. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go with Optic because I know more, I know them more personally. I'm friends with most of the team. I've seen them I met them all at Gamescom before, and I was really rooting for the things they were doing there. I think they were doing a bit of like competition. I don't know what that was at Gamescom, but wait, was it? Yeah, Gamescom in Germany. There you go. Wait, was it Gamescom or was it Games Fest? No, Games Fest closed down ages ago. Anyway, little tangent. So I went supporting Optic, and I was supporting Optic Hex massively because he's like the coach of Optic, but he was always, I got a lot of respect for this guy because he was always making sure like no credit went to him, and it was always about the team. So like when there was like cameras on the team, and then he'd pan to Hex, he'd like escape it as quick as he could, or like when they were like doing the whole thing where they were having a hug together or something like that, Hex always made sure the attention just went to them. And when I die here, I really have no clue how this guy saw me, because in this kill cam, watch this, he comes like sneaking up, has no clue I'm there. He might have saw me jumped up, but I was like, Jesus Christ, this guy's a pro, because I didn't think they had any UAVs in the air or anything like that. But anyway, so I was just really supportive of Optic, and yeah, I felt like I was more connected to that team rather than anyone else, so it gave me more of a reason to support them, and yeah, just have an overall great experience sticking with one team, following them through the ups and downs of the match, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. So with Optic there, unfortunately, spoiler if you didn't know, Optic actually ended up coming third. Now, they seem really disappointed with this, some of the guys on the team, and there you go, I told you it was going to kill me at one point. And I think it will kill me several other points into this gameplay as well. But what was I even saying? I don't even know. But oh yeah, they seemed a bit disappointed with coming third, and I was this is where I was like putting positive hat on and really supporting the guys, because I was like, congrats dudes, after they played, and they were like, yeah, like why are you saying like well done when we came third? And I was like, well, you just beat like all these other teams, and you proved you're the third best team in the world at the championship. You've won all these other things in the past, plus you're taking home like, I think they won like 200 grand. It might have been 200. I think it might have been. I want to say it was 200 grand between them. I think at first was 400,000, then 300,000, then 200,000. That might be right. Not too sure, but don't quote me. But anyway, they won a fuckload of money, and I was like, guys, stay positive. You've just won a hell of a load of money for playing video games. But I wasn't saying that in like a talking down to them manner. I was like, you've just won a lot of money for being really skillful at something that you do. And then you could see they kind of perked up a little bit from that. And I had a photo with them and everything, and I was always supporting them. And it was just good to back a team that I've, of sports that I've never been involved with before. And like football, I try and follow it, it just doesn't work for me. I don't find it entertaining. And like with multiplayer, I was kind of getting bored of multiplayer, but then I found it a bit more entertaining watching it competitively. And I know some people still find it weird watching other people play video games rather than playing it yourself, but I can't deny I had a lot of fun there. It was really good. And if you don't watch like the eSports scene or like MLG or anything like that, I'd really kind of advise you do. And rather than just watching it, I'd say go to an event, because like I said, before, I do watch the streams and it's not as entertaining as being there like in person, because when you're there in person, the adrenaline and the atmosphere and just everyone getting into it was absolutely awesome. And so I don't know if it was this time, because I tried to do this commentary like twice over, but I was talking about like how like the players had to behave. Now, there was kind of like a load of drama, a previous like competition or leading up to COD championships where players were being like really offensive to each other, and I get the whole mentality of getting the other team's head, really piss them off, and then they might play worse, that sort of thing, and really get into their mind and like destroy them. Kind of a tactic, but at the same time, some of the things that were being said like were picked up by like news reports and stuff like that, and this is where Triac were like, actually, you know what, we need to put in place like the rule of if you like swear or are offensive once, you'll get a strike, and if you do it again, then you will be disqualified from the tournament. And this was a subject that I kept bringing up, like when people talk to me about like, oh, how do you find esports? And it was like, well, I like it, but it's kind of embarrassing to like spectate, just because of not the gameplay. The guys are amazingly skilled, and they can absolutely beast mode, but standing back and listening to the teammates actually talking to the opponents was just on a whole new level. Some of the things that were said were like, could either be like super offensive to the people there, or even just to bystanders like watching. Some of the stuff that could be said could be seen as really offensive. So for me, I was like a bit uncomfortable just being like, Oh shit, did that guy actually just say that to the other guy? You know, it's kind of like a bit of a walking on thin ice to be able to listen to, and can they actually get away with saying these certain things at events? But what Treyarch did with the whole, you know, like putting the rule of you say something once, you know, you get strikes, say it again, and you know, you're out the tournament. I feel like it put a bit more professionalism into the tournament, and you know, I'm kind of glad that rule was put in there. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to wrap this up and say I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to leave a like rating. If you want to see more, then make sure you subscribe. I don't do much multiplayer gameplay with the Call of Duty side of things. I do zombies, so if you like that, then you might want to check that out. And if you are a new person who stayed around and watched this long, and you want to subscribe, then awesome. But I'm going to wrap this up and say a huge shout out to Freako Impact. They absolutely smashed the tournament and took first place. 400k between them, 100k each, which is absolutely insane. Them guys are amazing. Envious as well. I was really rooting for them in the finals and hope they took the win, but unfortunately didn't. So huge shout out to Freako again. And then last but not least, Optic Gaming, team of choice, and I absolutely love the guys on the team. Hopefully I'll see them play again soon. But anyway, guys, that's about everything. Thanks for watching as always, and adios.